Hello, and welcome to the Hallways to Health Sustainability Planning Learning Series. The Learning Series is designed to support Hallways to Health sites sustain their efforts into the future. The Learning Series is comprised of recorded webinars accompanied by tools and resources to help you throughout the sustainability planning process. At some point, all programs and organizations face transitions in their funding. In the nonprofit world, this is fairly common. In preparation for the end of the Hallways to Health grant, the School-Based Health Alliance, along with the consulting group John Snow, Inc., are working with state affiliates to support the Hallways to Health sites as they work to maintain their Hallways to Health work after the grant period. The Learning Series is organized in a series of modules that will guide you through the sustainability planning process. The first module, Preparing for Sustainability, walks through the key steps to prepare for the sustainability planning process, or the pre-work. These initial steps will help establish a solid foundation to determine how to sustain your project beyond the initial grant period. The first three objectives for this webinar are the initial steps in the sustainability planning process that will help you prepare for the process itself. By the end of this presentation, you will be able to identify the names and roles of the individuals who will help develop the sustainability plan, develop a vision of sustainability for Hallways to Health, and understand the strengths and challenges that will impact the site's ability to sustain Hallways to Health. The final objective for this webinar is to introduce steps and tools that you can use to demonstrate the value to key stakeholders and to demonstrate effective messaging to engage those stakeholders. So by the end of this webinar, you will be able to identify data and messages that relay the value of Hallways to Health to key stakeholders. Before we begin, it's helpful to answer the question, what is sustainability? Sustainability is ensuring that a program has become a permanent part of community resources. While funding is a major component to sustainability, factors such as organizational support and policies and procedures also influence whether an organization is able to maintain a program and its benefits over time. So the initial step to preparing for sustainability is to identify who is going to help in the planning process. Planning is most effective when a team of staff or partners are working together to build a sustainability plan. Together, the team members leverage knowledge, skills, and time to develop a thoughtful plan. The team doesn't have to be large to be effective, so consider members who are in a leadership role at your organization or a key partner who is able to commit time and resources to support the planning. If individuals can't attend as a regular team member, you can always leverage their skills and resources as an advisor. The team should identify their role, objectives, and time frame for their work together. It's always helpful to have one or two team leads who are responsible for ensuring that the sustainability plan is developed and implemented in the established time period. The first tool to support your preparation for sustainability planning is the Sustainability Team Roster. The roster is a table that you can fill in to identify the team members working on your sustainability plan at your Hallways to Health site. It includes space for team member names and the organization they represent and their role on the sustainability team, which could be discrete and connected to their position at their organization. So, for example, the grant writer from your sponsor organization or a team member's role could also be general, including helping to develop the plan and implement the sustainability plan. It's also helpful to think through and write down what skills and resources team members bring. This may grow and change over time as team members further develop their role on the team and identify how they can help. There's also space on the tool to indicate a time frame for sustainability team work. This not only helps you set a goal for how long the team will work together, but helps team members understand the length of time that they will be committing to the sustainability team. The tool is in PDF format so that you can type in the information about your team and save it on your computer. On the screen is an example of a team roster. On the second page of the Sustainability Team Roster, there is space for you to write down how often the team will be meeting and to document the tasks that you will be working together on. Some of these tasks may include completing all 3 of the Hallways to Health sustainability planning modules. Before initiating a sustainability plan, the team should work together to establish their vision for sustainability that will guide each step of the planning process. The team should answer the question, what does a sustainable Hallways to Health program look like? Be sure to clarify the scope of the sustainability plan. For example, this plan is focused on Hallways to Health activities rather than the entire school-based health center operations or another school-based health center program. Also include the time frame for your sustainability vision. So it could be a vision that's set 1 year out from now, 2 years, or 5 years. Whichever it is, be clear on your time frame. As you develop your sustainability vision, the team should include discussions about all the components that support sustainability, such as funding. Funding can be a critical component of sustainability, especially when the program includes any budget items. Most often, this is salary, benefits, or indirect costs associated with the staff person, but it could also include costs for travel, material, and other items that support activities for your Hallways to Health. While grant funding is one opportunity to sustain the work, other funding opportunities could and should be considered. For example, maximizing billing for Hallways to Health activities is another avenue that provides funding. It may be helpful to discuss different health and education and even business-related funding visions. Developing, institutionalizing, and communicating policies and procedures that may support the continuation of Hallways to Health is another avenue for sustainability. Policies and procedures provide a level of guidance and accountability to ensure that activities are continued, especially as staff turnover and there's potential to lose historical knowledge. Partners can serve a key role in helping to sustain Hallways to Health. Partners can connect Hallways to Health to resources or expertise, or they can provide or supplement services. They can also advocate on behalf of your Hallways to Health efforts. Our second tool in Module 1, the Sustainability Vision Statement tool, allows sites to establish their clear, agreed-upon vision for a sustainable Hallways to Health. In the top box, brainstorm words and phrases that describe what a sustainable Hallways to Health program looks like. So in addition to asking yourself questions as to what does a successful Hallways to Health program look like, you can also ask, how will you know that the work is sustainable? After you finish the brainstorm up top, use the bottom box to develop a short, clear statement on the sustainability vision. Review the words and phrases in the top box and begin to brainstorm different statements that capture the words and concepts that were written in the top box. The sustainability team can do this together and use some time to critically discuss the different ideas that you have. Make sure the entire team is comfortable with the final sustainability vision. Here's an example of the sustainability vision. So during their brainstorm, this team identified the following as to what was sustainable Hallways to Health looks like to them. It included having a school champion, integrating their work into the organization's mission, establishing policies, and maintaining key staff members, and that's just to name a few. After reviewing the list, the team discussed what their vision of sustainability would be. It took some discussion to get there, but they decided upon our program will be integrated into the school mission, recognized as an essential resource in our school district and community, and key staff positions will be maintained by our partners. Sustainability planning teams should be aware of their current capacity to engage in planning and implementation efforts. By understanding your capacity for sustainability, you'll be better equipped to identify the strengths and challenges that lie ahead and build planning activities that directly address the organizational and contextual factors for sustainability. The Program Sustainability Assessment Tool, developed by the Washington University in St. Louis's Center for Public Health at the George Warrant Brown School of Social Work, is an assessment that's available online at sustaintool.org. It's a 40-item multiple-choice self-assessment to evaluate the sustainability capacity of any program across 8 domains. They identify the 8 domains that have the potential to influence a program or organization's capacity for sustainability. These include environmental support, such as having a supportive internal and external climate for your work. Funding sustainability is establishing a consistent financial base for your work. Partnerships, cultivating connections between Hallways to Health and its stakeholders. Another domain is organizational capacity, which is having the internal support and resources needed to effectively manage Hallways to Health. Program evaluation is assessing Hallways to Health to inform planning and to document results. Another domain, program adaptation, is adapting your work to ensure ongoing effectiveness. Communications is strategically communicating with stakeholders and the public about Hallways to Health. And finally, strategic planning is using processes that guide Hallways to Health's directions, goals, and stakeholders. The Center for Public Health's website provides more detail on each of these 8 domains. But the online assessment takes an estimated 10 to 15 minutes to complete. The tool is free, but you must register on the site to get access to it. After taking the online assessment, you will receive a PDF summary report of your overall sustainability capacity. These results will be instrumental in the development of your sustainability plan. The assessment can be completed by an individual, or each team member can complete the assessment and have their scores combined. When you start the assessment, you will be asked to choose which option you would like to use. After completing the tool, be sure to discuss the results with your sustainability team members. The results of the assessment should help guide the development of your sustainability plan. This way, your plan is relevant to both the strengths and challenges and makes it most meaningful to Hallways to Health. Many of the tools and resources presented on these 3 series modules in webinars and the tools and resources on the list for Hallways to Health sustainability are intended to help you strengthen your capacity in many of the areas that are discussed in the 8 domains, such as strategic communication, environmental support, partnerships, funding stability, and planning. So we hope that these 3 modules that we present help you strengthen any findings from the online assessment. Now that you have a team working on sustainability, guided by a vision, and knowledgeable about the strengths and challenges that will impact sustainability, we are ready to introduce some of the steps and tools that will help your team throughout the sustainability process. More than likely, at some point during the process, your team will need to demonstrate to someone, your sponsor, school leadership, a community member, parent, or a managed care organization, the reason that Hallways to Health should continue into the future. There are steps you can take now to begin to develop your value statements and to communicate these effectively. You should start building your case for sustaining the work of Hallways to Health. Likely, you are already convinced that it needs to continue into the future, but there will be others who will need to learn about its value. So, as a first step, the team should identify why Hallways to Health is needed, who benefits from it, and why school-based health centers are best positioned to undertake the activities associated with Hallways to Health. Your grant report, storyboards, and evaluation findings should provide information and documentation, and it will allow you to use a combination of quantitative and qualitative information to inform your case. Answering the following questions will help you build your case for sustainability. What is the problem addressed by Hallways to Health at your site? What are we trying to accomplish by sustaining Hallways to Health? And why should an investor or stakeholder care about the sustainability of the project? You likely already have information that will help build the case for the value of Hallways to Health. You can begin to collect all the information and materials that you already have created that tells the story of Hallways to Health and the value it brings to your school and community. Your grant reports, storyboards, and the stories from school and school-based health center staff, students, and parents, and even evaluation findings should provide information and documentation to demonstrate Hallways to Health's value. In the next webinar, Module 2, Engaging Stakeholders, we will discuss more about who you might want to demonstrate the value of Hallways to Health to. But in the meantime, it's helpful to start collecting the information you already have to demonstrate your value. Your communication to stakeholders will be an important skill you use throughout the sustainability planning process. Tool 4 is a message box to help develop communication skills and effective messaging. Some of you have used the message box, and so it may look familiar. Good communication will come in handy throughout the sustainability process. You can use this message box in all the different steps of sustainability planning. So during this initial phase, as we're prepping for sustainability planning, you could use it to engage sustainability team members or advisors. For example, if you'd like a school administrator or a medical sponsor staff member to be on your sustainability team, you can use the message box to create your ask for them to participate on the team. In later phases of the sustainability planning process, you will use the message box to develop messages or asks for stakeholders, such as asking for a levy or requesting that a health payer fund a school-wide risk assessment. And you may complete many different messages for different stakeholders at each phase of the process. So from engaging team members and getting team members to participate in your sustainability planning team, all the way through engaging different stakeholders and making asks around sustainability. This tool helps you organize your thoughts and identify key points to communicate the most critical information to your audience. The message box is a versatile tool that can be used to structure messages in any type of format, including promotional material, presentations, and proposals. You can create multiple messages for various audiences that you might need to address throughout these efforts. The final step in building your case for sustainability is to develop supporting material that presents your message and any critical information to support your message, such as data and stories. This is a step that, like the message box, you will continue to use throughout your sustainability planning. So begin to collect all the supporting material that you already have developed. Do you have articles from the school newsletter? Did you put up bulletin boards? You will also likely begin to develop new supporting material throughout the sustainability planning process. And depending on its use and audience, you may have a variety. Be creative and thoughtful and concise when developing this material. All of the tools presented in this webinar can be found on the Hallways to Help Tools and Resources list. The list of resources and tools are designed to support the sustainability planning process for Hallways to Health site. It's organized by module and includes a description of the tool or resource and tips for using that resource or tool. All of the tools are discussed in these recorded webinars as well. The complete set of sustainability resources for sites and state affiliates, including a link to this recorded webinar and the tools and resources list, is available on a password-protected section of the School-Based Health Alliance website. Hallways to Health sites and state affiliates will be given their login information so they can access the website. This concludes Module 1, Preparing for Sustainability. We hope that you have learned more about the 3 steps that will help you prepare for sustainability: creating a sustainability planning team and your shared vision for sustainability, and assessing your capacity for sustainability. We also hope that you have learned more about how building your case for sustainability will help you throughout the process. Taking the time to complete these steps will save you time in the future. Preparing for sustainability planning can be a relatively quick process, but it's well worth the time and effort. If you have any questions, please contact your state affiliate. We thank you for joining us on this Module 1 webinar, and we look forward to seeing you on the Module 2. Thank you.